What's up?
Word up.
We got the juice. All right, I'm Jasmine Johnson.
I'm Lucian Brownlee.
And today we're going to talk about our main topics.
Yes, ma'am. So today I'm going to talk about the Gilbert Arenas and Javaris Crittenton situation. That happened with the Washington Wizards in 2009. So the basis of the story is they were on a flight to a game or to a different city.
Yeah.
And they were playing a card game, a betting game, of course, with money, a lot of money, because they make a lot of money. So long story short, Javaris Crittenton was down $1,000 already, or more than $1,000.
Yeah.
And then Gilbert Arenas decided to join a game, and as y'all know already, Gilbert Arenas is known for like really being an agitator and talking a lot of stuff. Yeah, talking a lot of stuff, and really like egging people on.
Gotcha.
And the crazy thing is that neither of them was winning the game. Like Gilbert Arenas wasn't winning either. Like
so none of them.
Yeah, JaVale McGee actually won the hand, and when JaVale won, he decided to back out. Like he was cool. Like I'm cool. Like I got my money. Like yeah, like I'm done. So Javaris Crittenton got like mad. Like how you gonna back out now? Like I want to win my money back. Like so. That whole situation happened, and then Gilbert Arenas started talking his like more smack, and somehow the Gilbert Arenas said something that agitated Javaris Crittenton, and Javaris Crittenton was like, "Well, I'll kill you," and then Gilbert Arenas was like, "Well, I'll bring the guns so you could choose which one you want to kill me." And then like 2 weeks later, in the locker room. And Gilbert Arenas had like 4 guns like laid out, like they were unloaded though. Like which one you want?
What?
And Javaris Crittenton was like, "Nah, I don't need that," and took out his own gun and pointed it directly at Gilbert Arenas.
Wow, checkmate. That's what happened.
Right. So luckily, if it wasn't for like Karan Butler and some of the other teammates, of course the police were called. But to break up that whole debacle, like who knows like what could have happened, or somebody might have got shot or something.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so that's a bit.
Were they alone in the locker room?
No, it was like the whole team was in there. Like,
wow. And these are players who have been playing together for years.
For a couple of years, with the Washington Wizards.
Money changes people.
So
that's crazy because my topic is also about guns. So Plaxico Burress was a wide receiver for the New York Giants. And he was in a club in New York City. Basically what happened was he was walking up the steps and I guess he tripped. He said it was dark in there. He said he tripped and his gun came out of the holster and slipped down his jeans. And when he went to grab for it, he shot himself. And he didn't even know he shot himself at first. He thought he shot somebody else. But he didn't realize until he saw like the blood basically seeping through his pants. But basically, he did only 2 years of jail time because the gun that he had was not licensed. New York City, you cannot carry. So he went away for 2 years and bounced back and was able to get signed with the Jets. So let me ask you, if that happened to, let's say, a college player, where they got to an incident, they had a gun in Maryland, and somehow, some way, the gun goes off in the club. Do you think that a school will be willing to take them back, or their career is done?
I think it really depends on the program and how they're running it, because sometimes like stuff like that can happen at a program and it like goes under the rug, like nobody really finds out about it, or like it just kind of like disappears somehow. But I feel like and some schools might just suspend that person, for a little bit, or, whatever he has to do. He probably have to do like 2 years probation or something like that because of carrying a weapon. So yeah, it really depends on how the program carries it. I mean, if I was like ahead of a program, I would probably like try to help them out as much as possible.
But that would kind of affect the name and the image portrayed on your
Portrayed
school.
on the school, yeah, of course. Especially in today's time with
Yes.
how crazy the media is.
Right. So, speaking on that, today, how do you feel your situation would have been handled? How would social media take that?
I feel like today it would be like even crazier, you know, with the memes, like stuff on Twitter.
I actually saw one.
Yeah, like
Okay.
yeah. So like in 2009, like that's kind of like the start of like when
Yeah.
Twitter started popping.
Yeah.
Like in 2009, 2010,
Yep.
you know, that like era.
Yep.
So like it was still like some memes about it, and like, you know, people like had their own opinions on it,
Yeah.
but I don't feel like it was as big and affected Gilbert Arenas as much. I mean, it affected Javaris Crittenton because he already had like a name for like gang related activity and stuff like that. And then after that whole situation, like a couple years later in like 2011, he was actually like brought in for charges for killing someone. And in 2015,
Oh, so he's about that life.
yeah, in 2015 he was like,
That's crazy.
like he got charged with involuntary manslaughter, and he's currently serving 20 years.
Wow.
So yeah, I feel like social media would definitely had their paws all over it more than they already did, because it was still like memes like calling them the Washington Bullets for real, and you know,
Oh my gosh, I never heard
saying
that.
Gilbert
That's
Arenas,
crazy.
he wants the last shot, and you know, like crazy little, you know,
That's
metaphors
funny.
and stuff.
That's funny.
So I feel like it would have just went crazier and had a bigger impact on their careers. How about you?
Gotcha. In my situation, I feel like social media would definitely have memes because of the way the situation happened. Like, just imagine a gun accidentally slipping down your pants leg. Like, I don't know what would be going through my head, but I feel like social media would definitely
Put
have,
that into it.
yes. I feel like it would be so much more negative in today's day and age just because of the severity of gun violence in the community today, the Black community especially. But I feel like they would have definitely dragged that out of proportion. Definitely tried to give him the max amount of time that he could get for jail time. Because Mayor Bloomberg was actually pushing for that. He wanted him to get the hold for that. So I feel like social media would have definitely had an impact on his outcome, and maybe even him having a career after he got out of jail.
Yeah. Luckily, like Gilbert Arenas only did like 2 years of probation or whatever, and he was out of the league for that time. But I mean, the social media definitely had their own spin on it, like with the headlines and stuff. It was like shootout, like even though no gun,
this,
yeah,
yes.
like even though no gun went off, it was still like, you know, shootout, you know, stuff like that.
The different memes.
Yeah.
So, if you were a coach back then, after they did this jail time, would you sign them?
Yeah. I mean,
You
I
would?
feel like everybody deserves a second chance. Even though you're taking a chance on a guy, you know, who might not be the perfect teammate or, you know, someone really good in the locker room, that doesn't take away his talent and, you know, the chance of a second chance. So I feel like, yeah, I would.
True. That's very true. I feel like in your situation, I don't think I would. I don't think I would because of the fact that, to be clear, it was Arenas that had the guns out.
Yeah.
That is crazy. Like,
Yeah,
I don't think that I would be able to deal with someone who's that childish, because this started off of a card game, like their teammates. So little things might trigger this person. And bringing 4 guns to a locker room full of your teammates, I don't feel like he has the mindset of someone who's there for business and business only, knowing when to leave the personal stuff away and, you know, focusing on why you're there. I feel like that would be hard for him. So I don't think I would. I definitely wouldn't.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Follow us on Twitter at
Word Up Media 1,
and follow us on Instagram at
Word Up Media,
and our email is
juicysports@wumedia.org,
and our website is
www.wordupmedia.org. Follow us.